All right, so yeah, most negations are pretty straightforward. Put the word not in appropriately. However, with quantifiers, that may not be the case. By quantifiers, what I mean is statements that have quantity associated with them. And so the ones that we'll talk about are, the basic ones are some, none, and all. Those have quantity associated with them, right? None, some, all. And they're sometimes a little tricky. Okay, just kind of have to remember, think through it, and remember here what these are. I would mention here, because the book does use sometime, for some, another word, phrase that means the same, at least one. For some, which, you know, that makes sense if you think about it. Some could be phrased as at least one. Anyway, those are the three basic ones we want to talk about here, negating those. All right. So let's start here and let's think about the statement, some dogs, so let's call this our P statement. Some dogs have fleas. Let's think about the negation of that. Well, if we go by our previous thoughts, put the word not in there, and it negates it. Well, unfortunately, that won't work for this one. And here's why. Let me go through an example here. Let's take a different scenario here, and we'll come back and figure this one out. So, but the point right now is some dogs do not have fleas is not going to be the negation. So unfortunately, that little technique won't work here. Just putting the word not or don't, same idea, but that's not going to be the negation. I'll show you why here. And here's what we'll do. All right, let's like I said, we'll do a little different scenario. Just kind of work our way through it, just to prove, if you will, this. Let's talk about groups of people and whether or not they're named Mary. That's what we'll play off of here. So let's say group A. Group A is a group that has 3 people in it, and it's got would be another one, Jackson. Okay. So it's 3 people, and all of them are named Mary. Okay, so that's one group. Well, how else could we have people in related to the name Mary? Well, we could have Mary, and I won't use last names here. Just use first names, because we're going to have Mary, and then we're going to have Jane and Jill. And so that group, well, all right, so that group is part of them are named Mary, part of them are not. And then guess what group C here would be? None of them have, let's do, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but Priscilla, what would be another good name? For some reason I have trouble with the names. How about Caroline and Anna. All right, so that's representative of all the possibilities we could have of groups and how they relate to people named Mary, okay? All right, and so, yeah, so let's look at here these three A, B, C groups, and think about the sum statement on that. So some of them are named Mary. So look at, some of them are named Mary, that statement for A, B, and C. Okay, so statement A, is statement A true, is this statement true about statement A, group A, I'm sorry. So is this statement true about group A? Some of them are named Mary. Well, yeah, there's some that are named Mary in group A. That's true. Some of them are named Mary in B. Yep. Again, some meaning at least one. There's at least one of them named Mary in group B, that's true. And then in group C, are some of them named Mary? False. All right, so that's the idea. So, looking for the negation of this statement, the negation of the statement has to be opposite in all all situations. So if I'm going to have a negation of this statement, what's it got to be? False, false, true, right? With me? Yes. Well, we said this one was a negation. Let's verify it for this situation. Some are not named Mary over here. Some of them are not named, so in group A, some of them are not named Mary. That's false, isn't it? Some of them are not named Mary. That's false. There's not any that's not named Mary. Group B, some of them are not named Mary. Yeah, there's a couple of them that are not named Mary, right? So that's true. Some of them are not named Mary in group C, yeah?
Yeah.
Some of them are not named Mary. We've got 3 that are not named Mary. So looking at that, is that a negation in all situations? Are those negations? Well, they're negations here and here, but what about here? Not a negation, is it? It's not opposite in truth value. Okay? See what I'm saying? So this, it's negating it in some parts, but not all situations. So to be a true negation, it has to be opposite in truth value for all situations. So that one's not a negation. So if we want to negate this, some dogs have fleas, we're not going to do it this one. Okay? Because it works in all some statements. Well, we could try different things, but like I said, it's just what it is. Let's try all are not named Mary. All are not named Mary. So all of them are not named Mary. So in well, I said it. Let's say none are named Mary. That's really what I mean. Same thing, but I made it a little too complex there. None are named Mary. Same as all or not, but none are named Mary. Is that true or false about group A? None of them are named Mary. That's false. All right, none of them are named Mary in group B. That's false as well, because we do have one that's named Mary. None are named Mary in C. That's true. And so, yeah, we've got true, false, opposite, true, false, opposite, false, true. That's opposite as well. There you go. That's the negation of some. The negation of some is none. Basically what that amounts to. The negation of some is none. Okay? Now, the other interesting one, like I said, we're comparing some, none, and all. Those are the ones we're comparing. So let's think about that all. So back over here, going back to this. All right, so by what we've concluded here, what's the negation of this some dogs have fleas? No dogs have fleas. I mean, change it up dramatically there. Doesn't make sense to say none dogs have fleas. No dogs have fleas. That would be the negation of that statement. Okay? All right, so let's try a second one here, and that is P is all dogs have fleas. We could call it Q. Now your first instinct to negate that, you got all, your first instinct may be none, right? No dogs have fleas. Well, let's see. Let's go back to our little example here. So let's do the statement all, or since we haven't done it yet. This will be our last one on this little table here. All are named Mary about the A, B, and C groups. All of them are named Mary in group A. That's true. All of them are named Mary in group B. True or false? That's false. All of them are named Mary in group C. False also. All right, so as I said, first instinct may be that none and all are opposites as well, negations. Is that true? Well, it's opposite here, but that middle one gets us again, doesn't it? So all and none are not negations, okay? However, up here we do have a negation. Do you see the negation of this on this list? That's opposite of these. Look at look at line 2 here. This one's true, this one's false. This one's false, this one's true. This one's false, this one's true. Aha! There's a negation for all. Some are not. The negation of some is some, the negation of all is some are not. So all dogs have fleas, some dogs do not have fleas. And you have to change the verbiage or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. These quantifiers are a little tricky because adding the word not here does not negate it. Adding the word not here doesn't do it either. Not all, which is none. So anyway, so let me kind of organize this. Oh, I said something there. Actually, on this one, there is the possibility of adding the word not. I mean, our first instinct is to say, for all, go with none. But if I just add the word not, and not all dogs have fleas, that's okay. That would be. All right. So instead of saying no, say not all. Not all dogs have. So that would be a possibility there. So here's kind of the table, just to kind of some people like organizing it in tables. So here it is. All right. So for the quantifier some do, or some whatever the verb is there, some do. The negation is none do. Or, some have, some none have. So if we have all, the negation of all are, or whatever, again, you could say some are not, or you could say all are not. Or not all are, sorry. Actually, I almost did that wrong. Yeah, put the word not before the word all. That would do it, where I had it before, but not. And then, none or no. None are, none do. The negation of that is some do. So it those work the opposite. All right, so anyway, just keep that in mind when you're negating those.